Welcome back to Sippin With Sin, the number one podcast about stuff and things stuff across the world, across the astral plane, across the universe, from Haddonfield to Crystal Lake to Christian's mama house. It's the number one podcast of all these things, and I've already broke my co-host, but just accept it in your heart of hearts, your soul of souls, because it is what it is, and it's proven by people far, far smarter than ourselves. So, yeah, number one podcast. Don't look it up. Definitely don't look it up, but it is that. Round of applause for us. Episode 124. We are back again to grace your ear holes, or if you're on YouTube, your eye holes as well. All the holes. Well, two sets of holes. Whatever. Okay, we're getting off this subject. Welcome back, our one and only esteemed colleague, Mr. Christopher Robin Locks himself. Christian.
How did I know that Christopher Robin was going to be the name that you chose?
Dude, that's such a great name for you. Please change all your handles to Christopher Robin Locks.
Christopher Robin, like that's crazy. That's crazy. I will ask the chat what they think about that.
Christopher Robin,
and we'll see what happens. That's.
I've already corrupted
y'all.
I've already corrupted our Kick chat. And those that don't know, we are filming this live on Kick. We do that every week, every Wednesday night, and I've already corrupted them with talking about coming to their eye holes and their ear holes, and they are now, yeah. So we're starting off episode 124 with a bang. Woo!
Yes, we are. I got to say, it feels good to be back for another episode. 124 episodes. You guys have listened to us talk about crazy stuff for apparently 123 times. That's insane. Crazy to think about. I'm so glad that you guys have stuck with us this long. Thank you for listening to me rant, especially.
That has to be over 1,000 rants at this point.
Oh man, God, if somebody, you know what, somebody out there in the world will go back and count how many rants I've gone on, like actual rants, and tally that up. We'll see what happens. But I guess we'll just go ahead and move on. Like you know how we typically start these things.
Yep. With what we've been watching, reading, listening to, or playing this past week. I will start because I had a very light week. I had family in town. The wife had some family. So most of my week was spent going over there and visiting and doing stuff with them and all that stuff and things. So I didn't really get to do a lot. I played some more Call of Duty with the community.
Nice.
And other than that, I really didn't do much of anything. I did, though. I had some stuff I wanted to talk about, though. Just little brief things, little brief nuggets, if you will. First and foremost, we are festive here at Sippin With Sin. I don't know why we never do this before, but we are festive. If you're watching on YouTube, we got dancing Santas and snowmen and Christmas trees, and it's frosted all around us, and we got Ernie the elf on here, and just we're in the holiday spirit, I guess, as spirity as we're gonna be. But back to the task at hand. First and foremost, Christian, did you see the announcement? Howard Jones and Adam D are doing a new metal project.
How did I miss that? What?
Yes. I need to make sure I'm saying the name right. I think it's just them, and it's already in the mixing stage. I think it's called Eternal Burn, but I could be wrong. Or Burn Eternal. I'm actually looked it up real quick. But yeah, it literally just come out. Well, I mean, people knew they were working together, but nobody knew like band name or anything like that. Burn Eternal.
That's
it's
amazing.
Burn Eternal. After nearly 2 years of talking about it, founding Killswitch guitarist Adam D and former Killswitch vocalist Howard Jones' brand new band has a name. And it's all mixed and ready to go, assuming it still needs a mastering job, artwork, and marketing plans that we're guessing it'll release sometime in 2025. And Christian's writing that down. I'm stoked. I'm a big fan of both of them. Adam D is a musical genius. Christian, don't you dare say otherwise. Like, the man he can play everything. He's produced some of the biggest bands. He screams, he sings, he plays guitars, plays drums. Yeah, he's super talented.
You wanna know something funny? Adam D actually mixed my old band's album.
Who did? Adam D?
Years ago. Yeah.
I bet that was expensive.
We sent it off and paid for him to mix it. And he told us that the mix that we had was too loud and that he cut everything down. And when we got the mix back that he sent us, The bass was low, the screams were low. The drums were okay. Like they weren't, everything sounded good, but we were very low in the mix. So like when we played it in like headphones and in our cars, it didn't sound like we needed it to sound. It wasn't loud like we needed it to sound, but it was still really, really good. And
It could have been like
that was
the
that was a cool
DI
story.
tracks that you guys sent, like whatever.
Could have been like, yeah, honestly, could have
Because
been.
that
Could
I
have
think
been.
like especially if you don't go there in person, like those pretty much have to be like spot on the money to get it right, like across the board.
Very true. But I learned a lot after getting that mix back, and we got back in the lab, dude. Did that shit again, and
How
we
expensive was he
produced some
back
really
then?
good
Because
stuff.
that's been dude, that's probably been 15
Oh
years
man,
ago.
that's so long ago. Yeah, I honestly don't remember that number at this point,
15
but
years
it was
ago, man, he had
it
already
was
put out the
expensive.
Kill Switch albums. He'd put out Parkway, As
Yeah.
Lay Dying, I think possibly. He had.
I know. So at this
Did he
time,
do As Lay Dying? Maybe he didn't.
I don't remember him doing that. I do like at this time,
I know he
Howard
did
was already
Parkway.
gone.
He did two of them, I think for sure.
Hmm.
He did Horizons and maybe the one before that.
Yeah, that sounds about right too. Actually, I can't remember it all off the top of my head, just because that's not where my head was at the moment, or where my head is at the moment. So I have to like go back and try to figure that out, like actually try to figure that out.
Yeah. But yeah,
But
that
yeah, they
news come
pulled.
out.
You know, this.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like that's the overarching story is that he produced, he mixed and mastered our stuff, and that's a cool little thing to be able to tell people like, hey, Adam mixed their stuff.
That
So I
is
thought that
cool.
was really nice.
You're on a resume with a ton of really, really big artists. How's that make you feel?
I mean, dog, like that's one of those things I'm gonna take with me for the rest of my life and just forever be thankful that I had the opportunity to pay Adam D a lot of money. Well, I didn't have to pay him a whole lot of money because at the time I wasn't like uh, paying for all the stuff, but I definitely I'm definitely thankful to be a part of that. It was really cool. Um, and he was very nice. I mean, he was very communicative. Like it was really cool to have that interaction with him. Even
Yeah.
though most of it was like via email and whatnot, it was still awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome though. We went through
Yeah,
Josh Gilbert of As Lay Dying. We went through
nice.
his studio,
That's awesome, dude. That's
which I
cool.
don't think he does anymore. He was like half whatever co-founder of that studio, and the guy that does it now is actually like with some huge label doing whatever. He's still like
Gotcha.
pumping out stuff. But we got to do that, so that was fun. Good times back then. But I digress. Let's go back on topic. Um, Look, I need to pick a bone with you.
Huh?
I watched what you told me to watch a while back, and we talked about it.
What was that?
Berserk. We talked about it,
Okay, yeah,
and you
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much gave me the gist of. You were like, "This is the gist of it, right?" Well, shout out to H, has been rereading the manga. And he was talking to me the other day, and he was like, where did your anime stop? And I told him, and he was like, wow, you didn't even get into it. And I was like, really? So he's saying, like, that's essentially the beginning. And then, like, there's so much stuff that happens. So I was like, man, that's kind of got me inspired. Like, now I want to see what happens. So maybe I should go watch the 98 anime. What I think it stops in the same place. I was just looking at the episodes, and
It
pretty much
does.
where it stopped is it looks pretty similar to what I watched. Essentially, like
Yeah,
right
yeah.
the yeah.
It does stop right there. That is the
So there's no
like
anime
the
that covers
first.
anything past that.
There is an anime that covers past that, but it's garbage.
So
It's
manga
so
is the only way
bad.
to go with this.
Dude, yes, every time manga is the way that you go. Like I don't have they're in the library area that's over there off screen. But dude, they're H is correct. And I said this on the pod a
He
couple
said
of
it makes
times
him
and you may
hate
have
life
forgotten.
sometimes reading it though. That it's just that bad.
dog, like this manga is not for everybody. And when I say that, I mean like if you want to read something that's going to make you feel good, please God, don't read this because this is going to make you feel you're going to feel pissed off. You're going to feel like shit a little bit. Like, bro, it's Guts's life is trash. It's trash. So like everything that you don't want to happen to you happens to this guy. So it's not a life you want to live. But that's why we love Guts so much because he progresses anyway, in spite of all the things that are going on in his life or to him, with him, all that stuff. But yeah, dude, it's gonna make you hate everything for a while.
How long is it? Is it pretty long?
It's long as piss, and it's never gonna end because Kentaro Miura passed away.
Right. Yeah, I knew that.
And
That's why I kind of assumed it stopped where the anime stopped. I didn't know it like just got worse.
yeah, so technically where it stops, or the movies, the anime, and all that stops, that's like the third arc. Technically, it's like the third arc in the story, but there's like 50 arcs, bro. Like it's so many things
I was
going
so
on.
excited too. I
So
looked
like
up the
for,
anime. I was like, "Ooh, where did I get to? Where can I start?" And then I was like, "Final episode." I was like, "This is the same damn thing I've already seen."
yeah,
So I don't know if I want
that's
to
what
watch
I
it
told.
now. I mean, I guess I could
I
because it might be
said that.
better.
I said that. Yeah, I've said that on the pod a couple of times, and to you, but it's I've talked about it in tandem so much. I've exhausted myself talking about it. But the thing is, when it comes to Berserk, the that part of the story is the last bit that we get animated well anyway, and there's so much more after that. But at the time that anime came out, like the first one, the original one, there wasn't a whole lot more of the story that was available for them to adapt, and they just he kept coming out with stuff later on, later on, and we got to where we are now. There's a lot of stuff to digest, to dissect in that story, but the parts that I was telling you about are the most popular parts that everybody knows about, that knows Berserk, obviously, because it's the beginning of the story. But yeah, hella shit happens after that. There's so much going on. There's a lot of lore dumping, all kinds of stuff. The art gets better and better and better. Like every arc, the art gets better. It's ridiculous. But I'm sure I've said this many times. Like what happens in the story, how long the story is, where it can go. Sorry, where it goes, all that stuff. Because we have talked now 124 times on the podcast, it's hard to remember a lot of the stuff. But
Yeah,
yeah, definitely have gone over it quite a few times.
I may have
Highly
to read that
recommend
eventually.
getting
I may have to.
manga.
May have to dive into it.
It, it's like, so in my opinion, it's top tier anime. I'm sorry, manga. It's top tier manga. Like there's not much to me. There's nothing that's better than this. But there's a few things that are like right up under it. There's stuff
So
that's
you're saying
good. Don't
this
get
is
me
the
wrong. I don't
top
think
manga?
nothing's good.
In your opinion, this is number
For me,
one for you
for me, yes, yeah,
over Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
yeah. For the manga, yeah, for sure, for sure. Full Metal
Wow.
Alchemist is fantastic. It's a really good story. The anime is really good. Obviously, the manga is really good. But Berserk, in my opinion, is better. But it's better because it speaks more to what I'm into. You know what I mean? So it's darker in that way, like for me. But Full Metal Alchemist, like I said, is another masterpiece. It's fantastic. It's like Berserk is up here, Full Metal is right here. You know what I'm saying? It's you
Where's
can't.
Demon Slayer
It's
in this?
hard. Demon Slayer's like down here. I like Full Metal more than Demon Slayer,
Oh my,
to be
that's
honest.
blasphemy.
The story's just better. The
So I'm
story's
gonna use
better.
that to segue so we don't get stuck on one thing. But we
Sure,
got
sure.
rumors on the internet because the internet never gives rumors. But there's one rumor that in the time of recording this in like 5 days on December 9th, we're gonna get an announcement about Infinity Castle. But there's another rumor about and this is again those that have listened for 123 episodes. I am a anime/manga novice. And I've been learning as we have went, and I've made great steps. Christian, you cannot deny it. During the time of this
Oh yeah, yeah.
podcast, I've cultured myself with multiple different shows, but there's some kind of event happening like December 20th, 21st. I don't know what it is, but it's some kind of something, and they rumored that they will make an announcement then too.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's like an anime manga event that they have, like a big thing to announce, like maybe next year's stuff. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I forgot the name of it, but we might have a Demon Slayer announcement. And I want you to know one of my favorite new pastimes is to go around saying stuff that may or may not be true, mostly untrue probably, to my wife. Just be like, I would just say random things that may or may not happen in Demon Slayer just to see her snap her head around and look at me because she doesn't know if I'm telling this truth or not. Like, I'll just throw random things like, man, I can't believe they ripped that person's leg off and just beat him to death with it. And she'll be like, what?
That's messed up.
I know, it really is. It's
That's-
really cool, cruel, and I should be ashamed of myself, but, you know, whatever. My son also says Nosuke now. He runs around and goes, Nosuke. And I'm like, oh, God.
I like that. That's cool.
But other than that, I really haven't done anything. Yeah, that's about it. Not very, very exciting. I watched the most recent episode of Yellowstone. That's the last thing I have, Christian. And then it's on to what you've been into. We've been watching Yellowstone every week. It was a struggle because my son did not want to go to sleep the other night to watch it. So it took forever to watch the episode. But since it's getting, I think at the time of recording this, I think there's 2 episodes left. And I think the show is done. They are straight up capping people. Like, the last 2 episodes, they have just murdered people. And I'm like, dang, they just, like, taking people out. Yeah, and I'm not mad about it. I think there's something wrong with me. I'm just like, okay, I like some loss in my shows. I like to feel like people aren't invincible. And there's consequences. And shit happens.
Yeah. Just jumping right into what I've been doing. Obviously, the last time we recorded, it was Thanksgiving. You know, we're all experiencing the thankfulness of the holiday, and I got to do a couple of things during that time. Aside from actual Thanksgiving Day and then like Black Friday and what goes on with that, I was able to draw a little bit to get a little sketching done. I remember last podcast episode I mentioned wanting to do some kind of holiday themed art, but my way, right? Like, so it's like really messed up and scary and whatnot. So I remember talking about wanting to do some kind of Rat King Nutcracker battle scene or just designing those characters in a way. So I did do that. So for those of you who are watching this on YouTube or live, I will show you really quick a character design that I'm currently working on, and then I'll also explain what you are looking at here.
What kind of?
So that if you guys are listening to it.
Did you cook a turkey this year?
I did not. This is the Rat King character that I am working on currently. So if you guys are watching, you can see that. But it is essentially a giant sewer rat that stands on 2 legs, bipedal rat. I am working on the shading for it right now. I got the face all scrunched up so you can see kind of what it looks like. It's got I didn't give it like a big nasty venom tongue or anything. It's literally just like a big hairy sewer rat that stands on 2 legs. So think Master Splinter, but like disgusting. That's kind of what I got going on here. So that's what that looks like. So if you guys, seeing this live or, on the recording, let me know what y'all think, what I can work on, what I can fix, what I can change, all that stuff. I'm always open to suggestions just to see what you guys are talking about, see what y'all think. Aside from that, I am drawing something else as well. I'll go ahead and show that real quick and then explain that as well. I'm drawing Witch character here. It's like a comic book setup almost, where you get the little panels on the side. But I was inspired to draw this because I saw a movie on Thanksgiving Day, and that movie was Wicked. I have not read the books. I have not seen the stage play of Wicked. I know the story of Wizard of Oz, like pretty much everybody. But as far as Wicked goes, I am a big novice, don't know anything about it. I don't really like musicals. I think we've mentioned that before on the pod. That's not really my cup of tea. Seeing this movie in theaters, though, it was an experience. It was fantastic. I highly recommend it. 9 out of 10 for me. I thought it was great. 4.5 stars out of 5. It was really good. There are some things about the movie that I didn't necessarily enjoy, but those didn't overshadow how much goodness I was getting out of the movie in general. The costuming was great. The songs were really good. The performances that we were getting out of these characters were really well done. The colors popped. Like the colors literally look like the movie poster. I know a lot of times you get a movie poster and it looks really cool, and then you watch the movie and everything's like muted and kind of dirty looking, but not the case for this. It was well done. It was fantastic. I highly recommend seeing this shit on the big screen while you can, if you can. So I did do that. Aside from that, I got to spend Thanksgiving with a couple of friends. I didn't do very much. I literally just visited a friend and then saw the movie and then came home. Like I didn't do much. I stayed to myself. I actually had a migraine all of Thanksgiving. Like I woke up with it and I was just pretty much out for the count. I did enjoy the movie, but you can ask my wife, dude. I was just out of it. Not wasn't feeling good at all. Um, with Black Friday, there's a lot of sales going on, so I did get to go and do a little bit of shopping for myself and for a couple of others because this year is just going to be kind of rough when it comes to gift giving, if you will. But we talked about this last week, and I did get to purchase and download RoboCop that was on sale on PlayStation Store for $20, and I got some thoughts. And I wanted to share those thoughts with you guys real quick before we got into our next segment. Those thoughts are as follows. One, for $20, this game is fantastic. RoboCop looks, feels, sounds like RoboCop. Detroit looks, feels, and sounds as dirty and gross as it does in the well, not as dirty and gross because in most games like this where you get to walk around the city, there's hardly anybody in the city. The city is populated, does have people in it. There are people walking around. There's some vagrants kind of out, warming themselves up by fires and stuff. There's people listening to music and stuff, but it's not as grand as you would like it to be from the movie, but it is nice. Music from the movie is in the game, but it's not oversaturated. It's not in there too much. It's in there. It's sprinkled in there, right, to make you feel like you are RoboCop. So that's really cool. I do like the graphics. I wish they were like juiced up just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But this game was, made by an indie company that I don't actually know, so it makes sense what they have going on. And the graphics aren't bad by any means. I just wish they were just a little punchier. You know what I'm saying? A little sharper. But I do enjoy what we're getting in the game. Another thing I really like about the game, sound effects in the game sound really good. When RoboCop walks, when his gun comes out, when you fucking shoot people, sounds fantastic. It's punchy, and I'm just listening to it off the TV. Imagining it with headphones on, dude. When you shoot somebody, you feel like you're destroying their life, like legit. In the game, you can shoot people like in limbs and stuff. So like if somebody's pulling out a gun on you or they have a gun on you, they're shooting you, you shoot them in the hand, you can blow their hand off, and it makes you feel like a beast, right? Straight from the movies. So I really like that. Now I'm gonna get into some things I don't really like about the game, or just nitpicky stuff. Not really that I don't like, just complaining because it's kind of what I do. Every single thug in this game has grenades, and I don't mean like one or two grenades like Call of Duty. I'm talking about they got a backpack, a fucking grenade sack, bro, and they're just tossing grenades at you this whole game, and it kind of sucks because RoboCop is really cool and he's got his armor and shit, but like grenades really fucking hurt. So if you get hit by 2 3 grenades, like your health is plummeting. You know what I'm saying? So you get hit with a few grenades, and then you got a bunch of people with semi-automatic guns on you, like AKs and shit. You're gonna die. So I don't recommend playing the game on the hardest difficulty unless you're just a beast at shooters, which I am not. So I decided to play it on normal or medium, and that's exactly where I'm going to keep it. I think once I'm done with the game, I might play it again on the hardest difficulty just to see how far I can get. But god dang, the game is challenging. There are some things that are kind of annoying. There are some areas that are a little annoying, and you have to be strategic when you use your health replenishments and whatnot because it's batteries in this game, which is really funny. But I do like the game. Like I said, I highly recommend this one on sale. Obviously, I don't know if I want to pay $50 for this one. I think 35 to 40 would be a fine price for it. But if you see this one again, I know the sale's over now, but if you see this one again on sale, highly recommend picking it up. Like I said, I got it on a whim. Thanks to you, Sin. Actually, you brought it up, and I wasn't even going to look at the sale, and I was like, I got to get it. I'm suffering for that now because there are things I need to actually purchase because I'm an adult who should be purchasing adult things, for like my house and such. But here we are. But I love the game. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to try my best to play it more this weekend and get through it as much as possible. But like I said, highly recommend. I haven't beat the game yet, but if I had to rate it out of 10 right now, I would give it a probably like a 7.5 to 8 right now is about what I'm looking at. I'll say 7.5. It's probably more fair. 7.5. I don't know how long the game is. I don't think it's super long just because the game can be really linear, but I like to do a lot of side missions when I play games like this because I like to level up. So it's really fun. Leveling up does take a little longer than I wanted to, but it's not as long as I initially thought. So that's cool. Thank God. But like I said, highly recommend it. If you guys see it, you can grab it on sale. Highly recommend picking it up. But aside from that, y'all, it's just the typical stuff. I've been reading a lot of stuff. I didn't get to watch too much over the break, but I have been reading, and I am continuing that right now. I'm reading a book called Such Sharp Teeth right now, and it's supposed to be a werewolf book. So we'll see where that goes. The main character has already been attacked from where I am. She's hiding that attack from people, telling people she got attacked by a bear instead of a wolf creature because she doesn't think anybody will believe her. So we're gonna see what happens with the rest of this. She's real snarky and sarcastic. So hopefully I don't get annoyed with this character, but we'll see what's happening. And then as far as comics go, I did just pick this book up called Zenith. It's a comic from Germany. It's in English, but it's a comic that's based out of Germany, and the writer is Grant Morrison. For those of you who don't know, Grant Morrison did a lot of DC stuff. He's done a lot of Marvel stuff. He's the most famous, in my opinion, for a lot of the stuff that he's done with DC and their like multiverse stuff. So I'm excited to read the story. It's all black and white. For those of you watching this, I'll just show a random page, just literally random page. I don't know what it is. Hopefully, we don't get banned. I doubt we'll get banned. But yeah, just really cool black and white artwork. My local comic book shop, my LSC. I went there, told them that what kind of stuff I'm into, and they put this in my box and we're like, hey, check this out. Look at the artwork, see if you like it. If so, we'll sell it to you. If not, no big deal. I looked at it, immediately liked it, so I'm reading that right now. It's pretty cool. I also got Wonder Woman Historia. Um, Wonder Woman of the Amazons Historia. Here is the cover for that if you guys are watching this one. But right, this one is really cool. I love this story. Even my wife is reading it and really likes it. It's by Kelly Sue DeConnick. For those of you who don't know her, she's fantastic. Does a lot of really good work. The artwork in here, it's by Nicola Scott and a couple of others. It's really cool. I really like it. The story focuses on all of the goddesses in the pantheon, the Greek pantheon. Highly, highly recommend that one. I haven't finished it, but I already love it. It might be a read of the year if it continues on the path that it's going. And then I also picked up another book, Universal Monster book. Sim, you might enjoy this.
Ooh,
Creature from the Black
creature.
Lagoon. One of my favorite creature designs of all time, up there next
I
to
like
the
the color
Predator.
use in that.
Yeah. Yeah, it had two covers. This one had two covers, and typically trades don't have different covers like that. But this one had the like pinkish color that you're looking at right now, and it also had a more traditional like greenish blue color straight from the movies. I haven't even opened this yet. It's still in the plastic. I plan to crack this bad boy open tomorrow and read the whole thing in one sitting. It's not very long. I think it's 4 to 5 issues long. Don't quote me on that, but I plan to read through this because Creature is one of my favorites of all time. So I'm very, very excited to read through that, and I've purposely been saving it because I think I'm gonna like it a lot. So I've been saving that one. Haven't opened it yet, just ready. But yeah, guys, that's what I've been doing this week. As far as listening goes, nothing new. I've been listening to the same kind of stuff that I've talked about before. And Sin, I think you've been listening to some stuff. You posted a couple videos, so you'll be able to tell us more about the music right now. But just enjoying life right now as much as I can and working back to work. You know how that goes. So here we are.
So you didn't cook anything? No, no turkey for you.
No turkey. We did do ham. Like at the house, we didn't do a whole lot. We had mac and cheese, which was fantastic. We had the ham, of course. We had, I believe, green bean casserole was one of the items that we had, and two other things that my wife made. She did such a fantastic job. I'm literally still full. My stomach has expanded in ways that I wish that it didn't, but I don't regret anything because the food slaps. So here I am, just full and happy, and just like back at work, suffering right now.
We
But yeah, we didn't do too much. We didn't do too much.
the Mrs. family goes all out, so we ate a lot there. But then I had deep fried turkey for my family, so I did that. It's second straight year of doing it, and it turned out chef's kiss. Like, it turned out
Nice.
magical.
That's
TJ got
amazing.
to grace his mouth hole with it, and I have a really funny picture of him with it. And I couldn't
You
hear
gotta
anything
post
for
that. I
him
gotta see
making
it.
noises while he was eating, just in excitement. So it must have been pretty good, because you know how animated TJ gets.
Absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
But I did get lucky enough to get something. Bless Amazon cards and Black Friday deals. I got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero hard copy. I have
Yes.
not
Did you get
even.
it on?
I haven't played it. I haven't played anything. I haven't had time. But again,
Understandable.
the gift that keeps giving. And Amazon cards, not a sponsored plug at all, but come in clutch with a crazy sale. And yeah, I was able to grab that because I figured my son would like it, and that means I could let you know who your daddy is on it.
What system did you get it on?
Huh?
What
A
system did you
PlayStation?
get it on? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
But yeah, Baby Sin, he thinks it's his game, which it probably is at this
Oh, for
point.
real.
Yeah, he got it, and he was like,
That's
look at
funny.
my Goku game. And I was like, oh, I've screwed up.
Look at my Goku game.
Because Dragon Ball, he'll say Dragon Ball, but he associates it with Goku. Like, he says Goku. Most time, Baby Goku, because he
Understand.
watched more regular Dragon Ball. But since we've been in a Z, now he'll say like Goten, because obviously like the littler characters are like appealing to him. You know, the babies, as you will. But whenever I finally
I
get to
get
play it,
it.
I'll let you guys know what I think about it. I'm excited to check it out and to hopefully run some matches with Christian and stuff. And all that. I know TJ was wanting to play it. So
Can't wait. I'm excited for you guys to get into it.
but past
I'll have
that,
to
that's
dust it
been
back
about it
off.
for this week. So where do we go, Christian? Full disclaimer, I didn't watch episode 2 of Dune yet. I just didn't have time. And I think we're actually to episode maybe 3 by now.
Yeah, we're
I think the third one's
on
out.
3, yeah.
And it's not because it's bad. The first episode, it's not like I was like, this is the worst thing ever. I just don't know what's happening. Like, that's pretty much where I'm at. And I don't know that I'm really ever going to fully understand what the hell's going on. Just how Dune is a really big thing. There's a lot of stuff going on in Dune.
For sure.
So we'll see. I'm definitely going to watch it. And I know Christian's going to watch it. So once we finally get to doing that, we'll talk about it. I'm trying to figure out what anime and when I'm about to start show-wise. We have been doing Christmas shows, and we've been watching those, which is easier to do than the 31 Days of Horror that we do in October because, you know, little eyes watching. It's much easier to throw a Christmas movie on than it is to throw on, you know, Friday the 13th or something. But Christian, where do you want to go from here? Do you have anything? Actually, there is one thing I want to ask you about. Have you seen the early reviews for Nosferatu?
That's actually on my list to talk about. I
Good.
have seen.
Let's
a
talk
few
about
of
it
them,
because
not
that
too many.
is my man. Well, I mean, there's like nothing left in 2024, but that was one of my most anticipated horror movies. Was Nosferatu?
I think that was my most anticipated
I thought Alien
of the year.
was up there for you.
Yeah, that was. It might have been. No, I'm pretty sure it was Nosferatu then Alien.
Okay.
But yeah, Alien was fantastic.
Yeah,
Romulus
Alien Romulus
was so
was good.
good, and so I'm just oh man, I'm eating good this year with my most anticipated. I haven't been disappointed yet, and
I don't know that
if
we
these
will be
reviews are to
based
be
on
believed.
reviews.
What's that?
I don't know that we will be disappointed based on reviews. I'm having high expectations, and that may, you know, bite me in the ass. But and you can correct me if I'm wrong. The director of this is the same guy that did The Lighthouse.
Yes,
with
he did
William
Lighthouse,
Dafoe
he did
and Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
Okay.
He did The Witch, Lighthouse.
Oof.
This
Which
one he
was
also did.
solid too.
He did the Northman as well
Northman.
with
Oh, he did North.
Skarsgård.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So he likes him some Skarsgårds.
Mm-hmm. They're also real popular right now. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
And this is the
But
one that
I'm
played the
super
Crow
excited.
and Pennywise, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
Bill? No.
Yeah, Bill. This is
Okay.
Bill. This is Bill.
What's Eric Northman and Northman?
Alexander.
Alexander. Okay, sweet. There we go.
But I'm very excited. That's actually the first thing I wrote down in my notes is positive Nosferatu reviews. So yeah, very excited about those. I've
Jordan
only
just
read
said
a
something in
couple of them.
chat that I would love
Mm-hmm.
for you to expand on. Sorry to interrupt you. I apologize, but I'm very excited to hear this. Jordan said Robert Eggers? Eggers? Is that how you say? Is that correct? I want to say
That's correct.
yeah. Okay. Is this generation's Tim Burton with the weird and wild movies he's making that slap too?
I think
That's a
that
big
makes a lot
statement
of
because
sense.
Burton is
That makes a lot of sense.
man.
That makes a lot of sense because back in the day, like late '80s, early '90s, Tim Burton was doing a lot of like really gothic material. Like think about like uh, Edward Scissorhands. Obvious. I don't really count Nightmare Before Christmas just because that world is it's Halloween Town, right? So like I'm not really counting that too much. But like when you think about Edward Scissorhands, both Batman movies that he did, which is Batman and Batman Returns, you think of movies like Sleepy Hollow. Like all those movies are like very gothic, not like goth, just straight gothic. The way that they are filmed, the colors that they use, the way that the characters are dressed, the way that the characters speak, it's very gothic. And I think that is a really cool comparison, and that makes a lot of sense when you say that Robert Eggers is someone like this generation's Tim Burton, because the fans of Tim Burton stuff do like his work, and it's also different and he puts a lot of thought into it, but it's on a different level, right? Like Tim Burton's more popcorn gothic material, and this one is more like thinking goth material. And I don't mean to say like he's like an elevated director for like elevated horror or anything like that. It's more so just when Robert Eggers does a movie, everything is on purpose, right? Nothing is an accident. Everything is this way on purpose. Like the way that he shoots, like he likes to shoot on film. I believe this movie is shot on 35 millimeter. So like, and you'll be able to see it. So this movie looks like it would be perfect to watch on a fucking VHS. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really excited to see that, and I'm sure somebody on TikTok is gonna make a VHS of this after it releases on 4K and all that, and I'm gonna buy it as soon as I find that it's available on VHS. But with that said, I'm very excited to see this movie, and yes, Jordan, I think that you are onto something with that statement, very much so. And then Jordan goes on to say just how we can jump from genre to genre while keeping the same style, and it just makes everything work. Like, yeah, I agree. It's also you said it's so refreshing to see a modern director. I agree. It's very refreshing to see younger people come in and make the movies that they want to make, especially movies that have subject matter or materials that I'm interested in the slightest. And Dracula, Nosferatu, being one of those things. Yes, we've had Nosferatu made and remade several times, and I believe, though I haven't seen the movie, I believe that it's going to be one compared to and two hard not to compare to Francis Ford Coppola's version of Dracula with like Gary Oldman and Keanu Reeves. That's what I'm feeling going into this. I believe that the stories will be very similar. I believe that a lot of the subject matter and material will be very much the same. And that's one of my favorite Dracula movies of all time. When I think of Dracula, I actually think of Gary Oldman. I don't really think of like the Hammer films Dracula unless otherwise stated. You know what I mean? So I'm very, very into seeing how this pans out. I can't wait. Very excited to see it. And I'll move on from there so I don't rant too long.
Okay. That's all right. So what do we have next then, sir? What are we ready to talk about?
aside from that, talking about all the stuff, I know Creature Commandos. I thought initially that Creature Commandos was tonight, but it's not. It's actually tomorrow, unless they drop it at midnight today. But it comes out tomorrow, so I definitely want to watch that because that's technically the start of the new DCU with James Gunn and all his movies and whatnot shows that are coming out. This is, I believe, a series that's coming out that has several episodes. I can't remember. Like I try really hard not to look up too much stuff because I don't want to be wrong when I'm talking to you guys about the stuff. But I know that it starts tomorrow. I'm very excited to watch it, and the early reviews for it have been very positive. I'm not going to hold to those early reviews on that too much, like I'm doing with Nosferatu, just because this is something that's animated and people's views on stuff that's animated is so hard. And also, it's a James Gunn film. I don't think it's going to be bad or show. I don't think it's going to be bad in any sense of the word. I just really want to see it for myself to see how they treat the characters. And I also know that his season 2 of Peacemaker is supposed to come out right after, not right after, but after this, and be a part of the same world. And almost everything that happened in the first season of Peacemaker is canon to this new world, except for them meeting the Justice League. I think they're just going to gloss over that, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, that's really all
Is
I
that
got
gonna be
for
a
that.
weekly
The
show,
next thing,
or is it all coming out once?
I think, well, it's on Max, so it's most likely going to be episodic.
Okay.
So once a week.
And
Yeah.
it comes out on Thursdays.
From what I understand, I don't know if this is just like premiere or what, but I know that it drops tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll even go back and double check just to make sure that I'm not lying to anyone. Give me like 2 seconds to check that real quick. Yeah, it comes out tomorrow, so I'm excited to see what that's going to be like. But yeah,
Speaking
at
of
the time of
comic
this
book stuff, you
recording,
know what
it's
else comes out
dropping.
tomorrow?
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals.
I did see a bunch of Marvel Rivals, and people are going batshit insane over the Wolverine release and like what he does, what he looks like. I did see that trailer for Wolverine, and I think that he kind of looks like Sabretooth a little bit. Like he looks like a '90s super like a '90s character for sure. He's like super big, broad. He's a short, huge guy. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like the design, but it fits the art direction of the game. Like he fits into that perfectly. So I think he looks fine. Wolverine typically looks like one of three ways all the time. So like I'm here for it. I think it's cool. Marvel Rivals isn't necessarily a game that I'm going to be playing because it's not really my cup of tea, but I can see where a lot of people are going to be really excited about it.
Okay. I plan on checking it out. We'll see. I don't know, but I'm gonna check it out. It is the low price of free, so it's worth checking out.
I mean, I really quick for me, games like that they are free, but like how long are they free is one of the questions. Like there's a lot of stuff you can buy in the game. It's kind of like Fortnite, right? Like you can download Fortnite Battle Royale, whatever, for free, but like all the stuff that you want to do, you end up paying for it. I'm not saying that it's going to be just like that. It just reminds me of that, and that's not really the kind of game that I want to spend my time on because the older you get, the more precious your time is, and the harder it is to devote time to things that we love, unfortunately, like gaming, like watching movies, like reading comics and other novels. So like if I'm gonna sit down and play a game, I don't think that's gonna be one that I choose personally, but I do want to see what other people think about it for sure.
Okay. Well, we will probably check it out. More likely, when we check it out, it'll be on stream. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when it comes out, what goes on, and we'll give our thoughts about it. Probably next week if we get to play it. Let you guys know.
Yeah, if you stream it next week, I definitely will tune in to a stream or two to see how that plays.
Depends on what time it drops tomorrow. I may try to jump in. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. All right. Oh no. I guess I won't be streaming tomorrow. It drops at 6 tomorrow.
Sorry.
Yeah. So maybe Friday.
Well, we can move on. We can move on to our next thing because we both watched a movie this week that I chose. That we talk about.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the long projector because it's time to go into this week's cinema.
You sound so excited.
I am so thrilled. I'm ready for you to
Oh,
hear my
man.
notes, Christian, because I am just
Oh, you
ecstatic.
took some notes?
Huh?
You took some notes?
I mean, not really. There's,
Okay, man.
you'll see. It's probably way more than it
I
needs to
gotcha.
be. All right, this week's cinema comes from the lovely year of 2023, and that would be Werewolf Santa. We know about this movie because Christian found it.
I sure did.
That's
It
why we
found
know
it
about
is
it.
right.
And we're both
Great way to
big
put that.
Werewolf fans, so for the holidays, what better way to start our holiday season than a werewolf movie as we dive in? What can I say about this movie? I'm just going to read you my notes, and then we're just going to go from there.
Okay.
Okay, so Joe Bob intros with A Night Before Christmas, which I thought was cool, cartoony style. Well, not comic style, excuse me, not cartoony. Like, well, same, whatever. I thought that was pretty cool. Joe Bob Griggs, he does a whole bunch of stuff, so I thought it was cool. They had him in that, and that's probably where most of their budget went, to be fair. Christian, you cannot argue me on that. But all right, moving on. My note literally says, "Wow, holy iPhone movie." Literally looks like something Christian and I would or could make.
Yeah.
Wood scene reminds me of the original Wolfman. There's a wood scene where they're out in the woods. There's the fog rolling the way the lighting is. Reminds me of the original Wolfman with the fog in the woods and all that. Apparently there's a rare full moon on Christmas Eve. Santa gets got. That fake Santa beard, though. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That thing was atrocious. The transformation, though. Like, there's going to be a lot of this. You're kind of seeing where we're going. That transformation, though. A werewolf can only be killed by someone who loves them. The comic panel to tell us what is currently happening within this movie. I do like the comic panel ad, but the fact that they had to put a panel to explain what was currently happening in this movie as a transition. Okay. What in the hell are we actually watching? These are my notes, Christian, in real time as I went through it. Okay. Dude looks like he's ready to be on an MTV music video. And by that guy, I mean the dude that was in a suit wearing the backwards Yankees hat and the huge glasses. In fact, I put he has massive eyes. I don't know why this dude's eyes are so big, but he had the biggest eyes looking at the camera. And he was driving me a bit crazy.
All the better to see you with.
Okay. He's also wearing a Yankees hat, and that means he can get got. All right, moving past that. Listen, there's people having sex. That is an actual line within this movie that guy says. The Yankees hat suit guy says, listen, there's people having sex. Wow. Wow.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yep.
These static transitions made me want to headbutt something.
Oh, yeah.
Christian, why?
Like,
next note. Crazy Christmas sex party. ... Wow. Everyone just watches as Santa destroys the whole damn sex party. I'm pretty sure there's a line that someone says a penis just flew at me or something.
It's her mom, bro.
Oh my God. Santa is not smart. How can it not tell that they're talking literally 10 feet from him, but they're talking about how smart wolves are, but he's sitting over there 10 feet away trying to make reindeer fly that he just ate and are gone. But he doesn't hear them standing up talking loud. Okay. Continuing on. I'm almost done. All right. Definitely went to Spirit Halloween for this movie. Holy strobes. Why is this movie still going? The blood on their shirts looks so bad. Main character is Bitter Scratch, which can mean only one thing. Christian, what is that?
Turning.
No, you're wrong. Ginger Snaps returns.
Oh my God. That's not even what I was thinking at all. That's funny, though. That's
Big
funny.
reveal. Dad is the original werewolf. Dun, dun, dun. Santa is still digesting the reindeer, by the way. That was an actual line on the comic thing. Santa is still digesting the reindeer. Backwards hat guy now has the girl. Thank God this has ended. There are my notes. Christian, now please do tell me what you thought.
All right. Get my notes out here.
Oh, God.
I have 2 sets of notes. One set, I mean, they're not that long because the movie wasn't that long, thank God.
Movie was
Werewolf Cinema.
hour 111 minutes. Hour and 11 minutes. Not 111.
Yes, it was
Hour
like
and
an
11.
hour and yeah, not very long, not very long.
Thank
so
God.
Good on Nemo for that. All right, the movie begins with this dumbass lore dump that's on like a little card. Something about 1797 England, pirates, cave dwelling werewolves. Our main character that we follow in the movie, her name is Lucy. She is a redhead. That is her entire personality.
Ginger snaps.
Aside from running a failing YouTube channel that only has about 4 viewers, and we've all been there. I get it, but their whole channel is just about like monster hunting, but like their version of monster hunting is them going to places where monsters are supposed to be and complaining about not seeing monsters. That's literally their whole YouTube channel. So I understand why they only have 4 followers. Insane. So we go through 2016 through 19 of her like going to spots scouting for these monsters. And then my next note literally says, "Holy shit, Joe Bob."
Whole
Because I
budget.
had no
Hold on.
idea
Why are you
that
looking
he
at?
was.
I'm looking at the budget because he took up 75% of the budget.
Oh man, and he wasn't even in the movie. It was
No.
really just voiceover.
Dude, he had it easy.
He did. He did. Yeah, he did. While you're looking for the budget of this film, I can tell you that it premiered at Fright Fest 2013 in London. I don't know if that means anything, but I can tell you that that's where it premiered. Aside from that, Joe Bob introduces us to the main story via what was this? What was the song again? Geez, what was he pretty much reading off? I forgot what it was. You had already
'Twas the
said
night
it.
before Christmas.
Night Before Christmas. Yeah, he was doing the Night Before Christmas, but it was like jazzed up to match this story with the werewolf. So we get that. And after he kind of introduces us to that shit, we skip to Christmas Eve 2018. It's found footage style, I guess. Dude's recording this on a camera, which is clearly an iPhone from 2018. And we're going to Lucy's mother's house, who she doesn't really like. So it's weird. Then we get this random argument they have in the car about cheating, which is weird. And they get to the mom's house finally, and she kind of just hates her mom. I have in my notes that Lucy acts like a 17-year-old teenager. It's very weird because this woman is clearly in her 30s and she's just acting like she's 17. Very strange. The dad shows up. She clearly likes the dad. He notices that her shirt says "fuck off" and he loves it. Also, I noticed the dad sounds very much American while everybody else in this movie is British as shit. Like, this movie is from the UK for sure, but the dad definitely sounds American, or at least is doing an American accent. I'm not sure. There's a scene where Lucy walks into the woods later after, she's being recorded the whole time for some reason, but the snow is fake as fuck. Every time it's supposed to be snowing throughout the movie. We also have a full moon on Christmas Eve, which is super rare in the movie, and like everything looks so bad and so cheesy. This random screaming guy who gets attacked off screen shows up, and like when they show a close up of him and like the blood and guts that's on him, it looks like a mixture of Party City and Spirit Halloween. Like, they got half of the stuff from Party City, but then splurged and went to Spirit Halloween and got a couple extra things. Like, it's not very good at all.
There's no
My
publicly
my
available budget information for this movie.
They probably made this movie for about $500. Like, it's not
I'm
good,
pretty sure
man.
I could do most of the transitions.
Oh, dude, I can do the transitions, and I don't know how to do editing at all. So
Yeah,
that tells you a lot.
they're pretty bad.
I wrote a note about the special effects in the movie, and my note literally says, and you probably can't see it here. I'm trying to show you guys, But my note literally says effects equal LOL. Like I was laughing so hard watching this shit, bro. Oh my god. They happened to catch the real Santa in this movie taking a piss. Like of all the things, Santa had to get off of his sleigh, which is like barely on screen. There's no all the shit that we see in this movie, by the way, is off screen. Like they don't actually film shit. So like when we see Santa, we see him. They say that there's reindeer. We don't actually see it, and we only see half of the sleigh because it's clearly something that they've made that has some lights on it. You know, some LED lights on it. So like it looks real bad. It looks real homemade. Like straight up looks like Sin and I made this film. Not good at all. But he's taking a piss and then literally all of a sudden gets attacked by a fucking werewolf. We don't see the werewolf. You see you see like barely an impression of a head of a creature shaking, but they cut around and it's like shaky cam, and then they just cut to one of those static transitions that Sin was just mentioning. And then Santa's just sitting, laying down on the ground with his guts out, but the guts literally look like red balloons with fucking paint on them. Like it's terrible, dude. Oh my god, it's so bad. It's so. Oh my god. So Santa's just sitting there, and they're like trying to keep him alive, and he's like, I don't know, it attacked me, blah blah blah. And then he just like gets up and starts changing immediately. Like immediately starts turning into a werewolf, and it's so fucking stupid.
Can we talk about the werewolf appearance and the fact that okay,
I'll get to it.
I'll wait till you go there.
Wait. Let me get
Yeah,
to it.
go.
Let me get to it. Oh my god. So after that, oh, it's literally my next note. So he turns into the werewolf or whatever, and we see him like crawling into a chimney, and they make it all slow, and it looks all like weird and shit because it's clearly them sitting. First of all, whoever's filming this is literally sitting right in front of the chimney that he's coming down. Right, this werewolf Santa's coming down. So I'm like, first of all, if he came out of the chimney, you're dead. You're dead as fuck, bro. There's no way you're not getting murdered. So that was weird. But the way that this werewolf looks, it looks nothing like the werewolf on the cover of the actual film.
I hadn't figured out the mask yet. I really think it's just like a black, almost like a Phantom of the Opera mask that's like cut off.
I know what it is.
Do you know? Because I kept looking at like, what are they using? What is that supposed to be?
My brother in Christ, have you remember that movie that came out? The guy from Terrifier plays the Grinch, right? It's called The Mean One.
Yes.
It's just a Grinch mask that they have painted gray. They just spray painted that shit gray. It's just a Grinch mask. I swear to God.
What did they flip it? Because that come out. No, this come out in 2023. Damn. What'd they do? Just like grab the. Let me borrow your mask from the movie and spray it to make Santa or Werewolf Santa. It doesn't even look remotely like a wolf. Like it literally. Because I kept looking, I'm like, how are they telling it's a wolf? It's
kind of like an ape.
Yeah, because it's like a dude with it's kind of flat, and the nose is like,
yeah.
God.
If you took a like if you went to the,
I guess they're trying to be like Wolfman, the original Wolfman, like the Lon Chaney, where he's kind of more flat face, not to distinguish like nose and like muzzle and stuff.
I think if you went to the Dollar Tree and got a werewolf mask, this is what would come back. Like it was terrible. It's like Werewolf from Temu, bro. Like it's real bad. It's real fucking bad, dog. I swear. Look, also, it's not 100% stated that this is a Grinch mask that they've painted gray, but I paused the movie and like got real in on the screen. It's a fucking Grinch mask that they have spray painted gray, like real dark gray, not quite black, but like gray. And it's shitty, dude. It's so fucking bad. And they barely show the werewolf. You see like his fingers and shit, but there's no claws or anything. I swear to y'all, it's just a Grinch costume that they have painted black or gray. It's shit. So that's what we're watching run around. I swear,
if this is the same studio,
I don't. It's the people who did the mean one are the people who did like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And
I know. I'm looking.
It's those guys. I'm pretty sure. You let me know when you find it.
Yeah, you go ahead.
So Dustin is the guy who's filming for the first half of the movie. The only reason Dustin is filming this is because his girlfriend, who is the main character, Lucy, says that she will release their sex tape if he doesn't. And in this sex tape, he asks which one first off. So they've made several. And she says, it's the one where you made me dress up like your mom. And I was like, oh my God. Also, that reminded me of the penguin, which is crazy. But like, dog, you need some help. And Lucy, you also need some help. It's stupid. So that happens. Then I say, my note literally says, what the actual fuck? Why does Werewolf Santa look like the Grinch, but gray? That's my note. It's real bad.
Okay,
We see
Haunted
that her dad is a
Cinema is
cop.
who did Werewolf Santa. And then the other
Okay.
production companies are Amy Rose Productions, Cali Pictures, and something else. So I don't know.
Not the same because remember this movie's based out of the UK, so yeah, it makes sense that it's different studios and stuff. So
Oh, they
her
got a
dad's a
vampire
cop.
Santa in the work, just so you know, and a zombie Santa.
I'm watching all of them. They're all
Literally, I'm
gonna be
not joking.
shit,
Like,
but
I
I'm
scroll
watching
down
them.
to see what other movies they have, and on down, Zombie Santa. He's behind you is the next one, and then Vampire Santa. And
I
then
can't wait.
Satan's Grotto. A skeptical young woman spends Christmas Day inside supposedly haunted Santa's grotto. Oh my god.
It really likes Christmas. I see.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I hope you're ready for those cinema episodes.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
there's no way we're getting out of this. We're definitely gonna do them.
Christian's
But
just
anyway,
putting us in
getting
the
back
pits of
into the
hell.
it's yeah 100. Dude, I mean we watched some shit movies, but at least we knew this one was gonna be boo boo shoes going in because
I
this
mean, you
there's
said it
no
looked like
illusions
you
of right
laughed and
there.
said, and I quote, to start, like, when we announced this one, it looks like they shot this off of an iPhone, which I
Yeah,
would almost
it
bet
does.
money they did, in fact, shoot this off of a damn iPhone.
Dude, they shot this on the iPhone. The acting's terrible. The effects are almost non-existent. They're not. I mean, the only movie that looks better than this movie is probably The Flash and Aladdin, the Disney remake that they made. But like, goddamn, that's it. Yeah, I know. Think about it. At least those movies look better than this one does. But these look bad on purpose. This movie does look bad on purpose. Like they clearly knew that they're making a shit movie. So this is about the point of the movie where I stopped taking notes because it was too bad. So literally, I say her dad's a cop. Why does he have a black eye? That's fishy. Swingers in the woods. The mom is dating Roger, the main swinger. Wow. They're all dead. They're watching the werewolf Santa kill them off screen because every kill in this movie is off screen. And then my next note just says, "Oh my god, this is awful." Lucy's boyfriend runs off because she talks shit to him, and then he immediately gets killed off screen. The camera cuts, and then they're just looking at his dead body with like the red balloon guts sticking out of his fucking chest and stomach, and it just looks shitty. And I couldn't keep writing the notes after that because I was actually laughing, like watching this movie. I was actively laughing last night watching this shit and I just couldn't. And then I have a couple more notes. It says all kills are off screen. The acting is really bad. Everyone is a cliche of an actual horror movie character. Santa looks like trash. Also, if he ate the werewolves, why are we mentioning that he's digesting them?
Oh, the reindeer?
Because they, yeah, I said werewolves. My bad.
What
But
about
yeah,
the
he ate the
antlers? Did you
reindeer.
see the antlers when they look at that? It literally look like some straight up bot with like the screws still in it to like hold it together, whatever, like the little like nuts or whatever.
Yeah,
I was like,
it
what in
was
the shit is
bad.
that? You couldn't just get some real like antlers? You got some plastic
I
ass
thought
looking
we
stuff.
okay. So you on the cover of this movie, we get a pretty decent looking werewolf with a Santa costume on.
It's a
I
lie.
thought her it is a lie, but I thought her dad was going to be that werewolf. I thought her dad was going to transform and that's where the budget was going to be for that werewolf costume. No, her dad like makes this weird noise. His eyes don't change. He doesn't grow fangs, nothing. He just makes this weird ass noise, and then she shoots him with eye moving effects. It's like he sounds like somebody's tummy. Sounds like somebody's tummy rumbling, bro. It's crazy. She shoots him off. She shoots him, and then he like immediately dies. But I swear to y'all, when she shoots him, the effect is like Resident Evil 1 on the PS2, like the graphics. It's awful. And the sound effect is really low, so you have to be listening for it. And you can't even tell that she shot him because the first time she shoots the gun, we don't get a flash, a muzzle, nothing. Like it's just like a and then he's like laid out. It's ridiculous, dude. Oh my god, it's ridiculous. And they had the audacity to give us like a stock werewolf howl in this movie as well. It's not even the actual werewolf. It's a werewolf animatronic dummy that's behind the main character when they're going through this like weird haunted house thing towards the end of the film. It's bad. But yeah, man, that's Werewolf Santa. I knew it was gonna be shit. Sin knew it was gonna be shit. We watched it anyway. It wasn't very long. I can't say that I'm glad I watched this because that's an hour and 11 minutes of my life I'm never getting back.
Dude, I think
But
that's honestly what I said when it
we did.
ended. My wife was like, so I was like, damn it, Christian, I just lost an hour and 11 minutes of my life watching this shit.
Let me ask you this though. What was worse, this movie or the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight?
Oh. I thought you were
know.
going to say Thanksgiving. I'd be like, bro, I'll watch Thanksgiving any day over this. Just because it's the
Listen.
dialogue makes that movie.
This movie and Thanksgiving are, in my opinion, on the same playing field. They're both garbage, but Thanksgiving is trying to be the raunchiest, funniest thing it can be with the budget. And this movie, I don't know what it's trying to do.
I think they were,
but it's something.
Yeah, at times they want to do that. They want to embrace the full, like, we know we are not doing anything well. But then other times they're like, let's go serious. Like, we're a legit horror movie. I mean, Thanksgiving's bad. I'm not saying it's a great movie. It's at least funny. This is funny at times on just how absolute awful it is. Man, this or Jake Paul
It's
fight.
not good.
I mean, is it going to buffer the whole time? Because if so, then I'm not going to watch anything.
I think that this is much more.
Can I just Alexa
enjoyable
not
than the
do
Jake
either?
Paul fight.
And just stare at the wall for an hour?
No,
That'd be more productive.
I'm gonna say that this was infinitely more entertaining than the Jake Paul fight. I had fun with this movie. Don't get me wrong. This movie is dog shit. It is straight doo doo water. But I had fun because I knew what I was getting into when I started.
The
film.
question,
and
the main question is though,
yeah.
does this get a positive rating or are we in the boo boo shoes?
Oh, I mean, listen, y'all. I'm not delusional. This movie is ass. But I had fun.
I swear, if you'd have been like, I'm going to give this movie a 5, I'm about to just turn everything off. Like, Christian, did you even watch the damn movie fully, or did you just look up Cliff Notes?
No, this movie is absolute dog water, bro. It's trash. But I was laughing, bro. I laughed like half of the movie. So, like, a solid 35 minutes of this movie, I was cracking the fuck up. It wasn't good, but I was laughing at the movies, which is more fun than watching Jake Paul beat the shit out of Mike Tyson. So I did have more fun watching this than that. Never gonna watch this again.
What's your rating?
Unless I am inebriated. I think for my rating of this movie, I'm gonna give it a solid 2.5 out of 10. No. I give it a 3. 3 out of 10. I give it a 3 out of 10. What would you give it?
I mean, for the fact that they lied to me in my face, it gets 1 boo boo shoes. It knocks it down to negative. Because they showed me a werewolf, and they could have took any mask in the world. They could have kept their ass at Spirit Halloween a little longer and got a damn werewolf mask, and that would have been better than the bullshit I saw at distance.
You know what? I have to agree with you and retroactively change my rating because you're absolutely right.
They lied to me in my face.
One of the reasons, remember, because I did it on the podcast. One of the reasons why I chose this film was because of that poster.
Oh, it's covered up. I was gonna say, there's a werewolf mask right here. They could have got that like hooks to the jaw. It's like not even a great one, but it would at least looked a little more like a werewolf. It'd have been like the Winnie the Pooh shit, where you're like, I know that's a really cheap, shitty mask, but it's a werewolf. It's better than, I don't know what the hell that was.
Feel you. Yeah, but you're absolutely right because I remember it was like what 3 weeks ago now. I chose this movie or 2 weeks ago, one of them. But I chose this movie because I saw the poster on Tubi and I told you while we were filming, hey, we have to watch this, and we did, and we didn't even get the poster. So
No.
yeah, I agree with you 100%.
If they give me that wolf and they gave me at least a better attempt at a werewolf, I'm not saying you have to come out with like the most awesome practical effect werewolf because they don't have the budget for that, and that's gonna be hard to pull off. I get that, but you gotta give me something a little better, and I would have probably gave it like. I mean, we're not even with everything else. We're not going anywhere close to above a 3. But you would at least
Oh,
probably
Sin,
got
I
on the
forgot to tell
positive
you.
side of the scale to an extent, the very low end of the positive side of the scale. But you at least got positive. But you lied to my face, and you're in the boo boo shoes range, and that's what you get.
Sin, I forgot to mention to you, to add salt to this wound. I heard today from a very reliable source, a friend of mine got to see the Werewolves movie early to review it,
Okay.
and they let me know that that movie is garbage. It's ass.
Great.
So yeah, another werewolf movie
Hey, but
that's
at
going to
least they'll probably
be
look
a
like
great.
werewolves though, because they're practical effects, right?
I mean, yeah, this friend didn't tell me what the werewolves look like. He might have, but he was texting me while we were recording, so I didn't get to look at all of it because it was a long message. But the message did say a couple of times that the movie is trash. So
Damn.
there is that.
Well, that's way to just ruin my day, Christian. No, past that though,
Well,
we did get an announcement. I don't know if you saw it, where we talked about this movie last week on cinema. That apparently there's a Thanksgiving. Sorry, there is a Thanksgiving 2 somewhere out there, but there's a Thanksgiving 2
mhm,
being made with Eli Roth,
mhm.
and apparently it's
I did.
filming in 2025 or already started. I can't remember.
Yeah, I did see that and just forgot to write it down. But yeah, that is a thing that's happening. So there we go.
We'll see. Is it Christmas themed? Even though it's Thanksgiving, did you? For some reason, I was getting Christmas vibes on it.
I didn't look,
I
so
think
I
the
couldn't tell
picture's
you.
like he's on top of a house or like the John Carver or whatever mask, like they're in like a chimney or something. So I don't really know. We'll see. We'll see.
Hmm.
I'll watch
All
it,
right then,
but am I super excited?
worth a shot, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for lying to our face, Werewolf Santa. It's time to lock in next week's cinema. So we'll keep the holiday theme going, I guess.
All right.
All right. Sadly, I saw where I could watch Smile 2, but that's not a Christmas movie that I know of. So it has to wait, which makes me sad. But we have Krampus on the list, Christmas Horror Story, Jack Frost, Christmas Bloody Christmas, Violent Night, Fat Man, Black Christmas. Take your pick on that one. I know there's at least 3. Werewolf Santa's done, and the meme one. What are we?
I know that the original Black Christmas from '74 is currently available on Tubi.
Okay.
Just in case we didn't have that one down.
I mean, it could have
But
been any of the Black Christmases because there's 74 early 2000s and then like what 2018 or something or 19 or
yeah,
there
I
was
think
one
it's. I think
recently.
it's. Yeah, it was 2020. It was 2020.
I'm pretty sure that one was trash too. I'm pretty sure I watched it and was like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, I didn't even watch it because nothing about it was looking
I
interesting.
think that one's that one. I think the one earlier 2000 one was semi okay, but it wasn't like the best. Obviously the original. Hell, I can't remember.
So the one that you're talking about right now is from 2006, and it's also on Tubi. And that was the one that they made like after like Saw and shit came out, so it's supposed to be like really gory. And it also has Michelle Trachtenberg in it, who is Dawn and Buffy. So
I think the
I would watch that
2021
one.
has something to do with like a cult ritual or some shit. Because I was like, what is
Yeah,
happening? Like it just went its own weird, like Michael Myers way, like just taking it off on some weird tangent thing.
Yeah, I know that like the movie Silent Night is also available on Tubi. So like, if we wanted to watch that one, we could do it. I know the original Black Christmas and the 2006 are available on there. Jack Frost, I think, is on there, but Jack Frost 2, no, Jack Frost 1 and 2
And we're not talking
are
about
on Tubi.
the Michael Keaton Jack Frost either. We're talking about the
No, we're not talking about those.
Killer Snowman.
Very true. Yeah.
Silent
There's
Night,
also a
or
movie
no,
called
Violent Night is another one. Did we
Chris
have that one? No, we
Massacre.
did have that one on there.
Yeah, I know the Silent Night is available too. So we got some options. We just gotta.
I mean, what are we
just gotta
thinking?
pick one.
What are we gonna convene on it at a later time? And
I think we can go ahead and do Black Christmas, the '74 version. Like, let's just knock that one out.
all right, 74 Black
Unless
Christmas.
you rather unless you just wanted to do the 2006 version.
I'll do 74.
I will do 74 then. I'll write that one down.
All right. So next week, cinema. We'll actually hopefully have one that's in a positive rating. We haven't had a real hard negative one in a while. We actually gave Thanksgiving a decent low score. I mean,
Yeah, we did.
solely off the dialogue. The dialogue. All right.
100%. It was all the way.
You take the dialogue out, that movie's, man, it's Werewolf Santa all over again. All right, Black Christmas. I'm gonna put it on our notes. Black Christmas 74. Nice. So we'll talk about that next week. If you guys have suggestions for cinema, hit us up with them. Over December through this month, we'll be watching, I guess, more festive. I'm assuming it's all going to be horror movies because that's where we're pretty much staying. That's where we're living.
Yeah, I mean, we might have something at some point.
Yeah,
We'll
well,
see.
I mean, it depends on what comes out, but yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. But I'm sure the community will also be doing community movie nights with some probably festive horror movies too. I'm guessing in there. But if you guys have a suggestion, drop it. We'll review it. We'll talk about it. We'll give you notes. Even if it's something we've seen, like I'm pretty sure Christian, you've seen Black Christmas.
Yeah, I've seen these versions, but it's been a while. I haven't watched them in years.
I haven't seen 74 in a long time. So even if it's something like that that we've seen, it's nice to go back here in present day and time and kind of rewatch it and reevaluate it, if you will, and maybe notice things we didn't notice back then, or whatever. So we're not opposed to that. So drop those cinema suggestions. But Christian, do you have anything else?
That's everything.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time that we
pass the whiskey.
That's right. Get your
Whiskey.
We're going into the last call question. And let's see. Jordan in the Kick Chat says, would you rather know all the secrets of space or know all the secrets of the ocean? And what would you do with the knowledge you'd gain? Wow.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's tough.
I think I'd rather know all the secrets of the ocean, and then probably like draw the creatures that we haven't seen in the ocean that I have the knowledge of, and like make really well documented like illustrations of these things to sell to people and make some money off of that, but also so that I could stay the fuck away from what's down there. You know what I mean? Like, I got no business being in the ocean with these things that exist. Also, the other cool thing I think about, like, just I want to say space, obviously. I want to say space, but I think because there's so much of the ocean that is just unexplored and there's clearly life down there, like, I think that would just be cool to have knowledge of, man. I'm just thinking about it right now. I think that'd be cool to have knowledge of. So I'm gonna go with the ocean. I'm gonna go with the ocean on that one. It's closer to home, if you will, because I mean it's right here. But yeah, I'm gonna go with ocean.
I guess to play devil's advocate, I'm gonna go with space.
All right. What'd you do with that? Well, why do you want to know that? What would you do with that information?
Because that way we can find out what is out there. We can answer the questions that have been asked forever. We can know Is there intelligent life out there? Is there other planets that are habitable? Is there a lot? Just all the stuff. Can we maybe move and have people colonize on certain planets? Are there xenomorphs hanging out there? Is Alan floating around somewhere?
Alan, I feel you.
But yeah, I'll go with
Same,
that.
and the Kraken, I feel you. I feel you. I think space is your wife actually commented says, I think space is full of aliens, so no thanks. I'd rather not know what's in space. That's really funny. And then Jordan comments and says, that would be a lot of information to know by yourself, knowing you're the only person to hold that extensive knowledge. I agree with you 100%, Jordan. But if I knew about all of the things going on in the ocean and I could like make those stories myself, draw those creatures, and then like start putting that out in the world, on my own time, I think that'd be really cool. Same with space, but like I'm using here because it's a little more believable because we know it's like right here. You don't have to travel galaxies away, light years away to know that stuff. You just literally travel further down. So yeah.
Okay. That is not what I expected for the last call question today. I think we start talking about space and the ocean.
I mean, I wasn't expecting that either. To be real with you.
All right.
And I could, make stories about the Loch Ness monster that are real.
Oh my god. All right. Do we have any other last call questions, or is that it? Jordan decided to go easy on us this week. I mean, that's still pretty tricky because there's good arguments either way. Because what's the percentage of the ocean that's not explored or we don't know anything about? It's a pretty big percentage, isn't it?
It's a big percentage, and I really quick I appreciate Jordan going easy on us with the question because I think as we get closer and closer to the holiday and then in the new year, the questions are going to get ridiculously difficult, like they normally are. So, like I said, Jordan, I appreciate you giving us an easy one this time. Thank you.
All right. Dallas has a Christmas themed or a holiday theme last call question, and then we will get out of here. What was your favorite childhood Christmas memory you had when you were little?
Off the top of my head, off the tippy top of my head, mine is. I don't remember how old I was. I was young though, like maybe still single digits. But I woke up and I got a new bike, and I woke up, I got a new bike, and I also got a Sega. And with that Sega, I had a game that like nobody remembers. It's called I believe it was called Spider-Man or Venom Separation Anxiety, based off of like the game or the comic. But it's called Separation Anxiety, and you could play as Spider-Man, Venom, or Carnage. And I played the shit out of that game, like until I couldn't play it anymore. And that's one of my favorite. I don't know if that's like my favorite memory, but that's the first one that popped in my head as soon as I saw the question. So that one.
Man, favorite Christmas memory.
See that Jordan says his was getting a Nintendo 64.
I feel like it's gonna be gifts, right? Everybody's thing is gonna be like a favorite present or something, like a present or something that stands out to you.
Yeah, well, when you were little, that's what Christmas was, right?
Yeah.
It was getting gifts. You know what I'm saying? It's different now that we're adults. But aside from getting that Sega, dude, I'm there with Jordan. Like I'm gonna say getting my GameCube when I got a Nintendo GameCube.
I mean, anytime you got a console, though, that was like, if you got some kind of console or something on Christmas, that was like a massive deal for you. If you're a gamer.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what was your favorite one, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, I probably loved my Sega, played that. PlayStation was awesome, and I played the shit out of that. But my GameCube, dude, oh my god, dude, you couldn't. Dude, my GameCube was my life forever.
Probably my first PlayStation.
I played. Nice. I didn't get PlayStation until late in the game, so I wasn't a PlayStation guy.
But I skipped all the stuff y'all got to do. I went from Super Nintendo to PlayStation. Yeah, so there's like a gap of like missing some big things there.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying there. That's just how I was doing that. But like I remember, so with GameCube, my first game was Smash Brothers Melee. Right, played Melee a whole lot. Really enjoyed that. But I'm just thinking of the fun that I had. I played Smash Brothers. I played God, now I'm Star Fox Adventures. I played Resident Evil 4 for the first time. I played pretty much every Sonic game that I could think of, a lot of the Mega Man games, because they had those collections that would come out at the time. I played Bloody Roar, Primal Fury. That's a throwback. I bet most of you guys listening or watching don't even know what that is. But
I wish
Bloody
Bloody
Roar,
Roar would come
Primal
back
Fury.
so bad.
Oh my god, I would pay them any amount they wanted for Bloody Roar, dude. That was my shit, dude. Oh my god, I love that game so much. Those games, I should say. But Primal Fury was my favorite one because that's the one that I got to have. Like, I'd have to borrow it from a person. I'd have to go to somebody's house. Like, I had that one. And I remember the day I got it, it was storming outside. I got that game, and my mom was feeling generous and like bought donuts. And I'll never forget that because it was like Krispy Kreme. The light was on, and we almost got in a wreck trying to get those damn donuts. But with that said, I was gonna read a couple of the comments because I see a couple of you guys
Um,
chiming in on
you're
that.
talking about games you got on Christmas. I have a really good memory of Metal Gear Solid. Getting that
Ooh, which one? Sons of
Metal
Liberty.
Gear Solid, like the first one on. And
Nice.
I just
Hell
remember
yeah, dude.
Christmas Day, getting that game, looking at it, because back then, you would get the cases and stuff, and you would just look at those jewel cases, and you would look at the manual, and then as soon as like family stuff was done, it's like, all right, I'm out, I'm done for the day, game's in, I'm taking space on my memory card because I had to have the blocks ready.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in it, buddy. I'm like full sending until my eyes won't stay open. Oh, dude, that used to
Oh,
go hard.
100%. I'm gonna go back in the chat real quick because I didn't
Okay.
want to skip anybody. But I see Dallas says I remember getting a Sega and playing Sonic. Hell yeah, Sonic's the shit. I played Sonic up until, oh god, I think Sonic Unleashed was the last one that I like played like as they were coming out, and then I kind of like jumped around a little bit. But left definitely play a lot of Sonic. H says GameCube was my favorite, probably. My bro and I unlocked Mewtwo for the first night. You unlocked Mewtwo the first night, dude? Oh, I hate you so much. It took me a little while to get Mewtwo, but I absolutely loved playing as Mewtwo. He was a little slower than I wanted him to be, but he was awesome, especially if you got those smash attacks right. Yeah, I got you on Melee, 100% dog. That's probably my favorite Smash Brothers game of all time. Um, let's see, Mrs. Sin, your wife says, I think I was around 12 when I got Final Fantasy X2. It was a good Christmas. I feel you. Most Final Fantasy X2 was actually underrated. It was a pretty good game. I see that Jordan says, I need a Dino Crisis remake ASAP. I agree with you. And then I see that Dallas also says, my favorite was getting the Xbox 360 and getting World at War. Oh, okay, the Call of Duty World at War. I forgot about that one for a second. But yeah, the 360 was the first system that I bought fully on my own, and I loved it 100%. I was an Xbox guy 100%. 360 was like a god tier system for me. I really liked it. Then I got an Xbox One, played the shit out of that. And then after Xbox One, I jumped ship and started doing PlayStation, and I haven't looked back. And I still like Xbox. I think Xbox controllers are among the best controllers that we've gotten. Like 360 forward, like the original Xbox controller, I hated that fucking thing. It was huge. I hated it. It was too clunky. But once you got the 360 controller and then so forth, like love those. The Xbox One controller felt so good in your hands, dude. It was sleek. The buttons were really nice and flat on the back. But like I said, after Xbox One, I jumped ship to PS4, now PS5, and I think the PS5 is ugly as shit, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's ugly. It's a big old eyesore. It's too big. It's ridiculous, but I do love it. And then I see that Dallas says my older brother had an OG Xbox, big ass Wi-Fi router. Yeah, 100%. It's a giant Wi-Fi router. It looks ugly. No matter where you put it, it's an eyesore. But the system itself, like once you get it going, love it. I'm never going back. The original Xbox, I used to hate the original Xbox, and this is why. I was jealous of everybody who had one. That green looked nasty and gross, and it just seemed wrong when it came out. But it had some fire games, bro. Sick games. I loved the roster that was going for that. But yeah, I guess that's it. We're just kind of talking about games at the moment. So and we do that all the time on this channel. So I guess we could go ahead and start wrapping it up. So
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you want your last call question to be featured on an episode, drop it in the Discord. You can join my Discord. Link should be down below. Or come to kick.com/IamSinister on Wednesday nights around 7 p.m. Central Time and drop your last call questions there. Or you can hit us up on our social media channels at Sippin With Sin, SIPPIN with Sin, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. Hit us up there. Drop the last call questions. Hit us with your cinema questions. Get those holiday ones in while you can. And then after that, obviously, we'll be winging it. I'm sure we'll get to something kind of like Bloody Valentine's around Valentine's time, and then Leprechaun, St. Patty's Day stuff in March. And yeah, as we go, I'm sure it'll evolve. So get those cinema suggestions in. Keep them coming. New episodes every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central Time, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.com/IamSinister. Thumbs up, rate 5 stars, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. The YouTube is actually like 102 followers away, 102 subscribers away from hitting 1K. So go show it some love. Let's get there. We were trying to get there before the end of 2024. So show it some love and keep following, subscribing on Spotify and Apple Podcasts too. We see those. We appreciate it very, very much. Keep sharing it with friends. New episodes every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central, and then we record them live the same day, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. We'll record the following week's episode. It'll air a week later, but you get to come be a part of the Kick Chat live and be in the episode because Kick Chat gets brought into the episodes pretty frequently. You guys commenting, talking, adding last call questions, stuff like that bleeds into the episodes. So come be a part of it. Come hang out with us. You can find me on my socials. IamSinister TV on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, all that stuff. Twitch.tv over there. You can find me youtube.com/IamSinister. And, of course, you can find me live streaming Monday through Friday over at kick.com/IamSinister. So come hang out with us there. Would love to see you. Say you're from the podcast. Other podcast, I have a really big guest. By the time this comes out, it will already have happened, but there's a big guest coming this coming week. So Behind the Vocals will be back live and in action, and that those episodes air on Fridays, 8 a.m. Central, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and then youtube.com/IamSinister. And that's where you can find me, ladies and gentlemen. Christian, where can lovely folks find you?
Yes, and find me on Instagram at Venom Inc. That's all one word, Venom Inc. You guys can also find me on the TikTok at my full name, Christian Vincent. Contrary to popular belief, I don't like social media that much, so those are the only 2 places you guys can currently find me, but I will be working on other socials soon.
You've been saying that. What does that mean?
It just means that here in the foreseeable future, I will make a dedicated social media on whatever the platform is that we're all using, so you guys can stay in touch with me, that I'll actually get on and post.
Why don't you use Threads?
When that'll happen, I don't know. I don't know why I haven't started using Threads yet. It's just another thing that I have to do, and I just haven't done it.
I have to say, Threads, I don't know. Like, the interactions over there are pretty good. Like, they're pretty positive, and people seem pretty cool for the most part over there.
I definitely need to try it. I don't have a solid reason why I haven't. I just haven't yet. But I definitely mean to try it. Just like I said, just hasn't happened quite yet, and I need to work on that.
All right. Well, next week possibly we'll talk about Marvel Rivals. Give some thoughts about that. I should be able to play it by then. I would think. Hopefully. Maybe I'll have some thoughts on Dragon Ball. Maybe we'll have both watched Dune, but we'll definitely have both watched Black Christmas. And yeah, I don't know what else we'll talk about, but I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about. So,
I agree,
ladies and gentlemen. It's that time. It may be snowing. Christmas lights may be going out for the evening. You may be stumbling a little bit. But you know what? You don't have to go home. But you got to get the hell up out of here until next week. It's time for Christian to lock it down until next week.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Sipping with Sin. We've been doing this for 124 episodes, and you guys have been loyal, faithful, everlasting fans, and we really appreciate that. Keep doing all the stuff on all the socials, on all the YouTube, sign, subscribe, all that stuff. We love it so much. We read all the comments. But before you guys leave, I'm going to leave you with 3 words. If you've been here for 124 episodes, you already know what I'm going to say. But if for some reason this is your first episode, I want you to listen very carefully because these 3 words might just save your life. Those 3 words are: don't get gutted.
See you guys next week.